everyone. My name is Swati Arora, and I'm from Yokohama National University in Japan. Today, I will share some practical classroom experiences of integrating AI tools with multicultural pedagogy, particularly to Japanese EFL classrooms. As we all know, AI is transforming education very quickly, but the key question for us as a teacher is not to simply just look at how to use AI, but also to use it meaningfully. So in this presentation, I'll briefly discuss on current debates about AI in education, the theoretical framework guiding my work, and also practical classroom experiences, ending with the reflections on how and what actually works with students in Japan. Moving forward, I like to do this, start my presentation with small warning. Sometimes when we talk about AI in education, it sounds like technology will solve every problem. But if the students rely on AI too much, the thinking part of learning disappears. So the goal is not to replacing thinking with AI, but designing learning better with AI support for deeper thinking. So this is the key idea behind the examples I share today. So, like I said, there's a disclaimer that overusing AI can make your brain go on a permanent coffee break. Don't let robots do all the thinking. Um, I wanted to join this presentation in person, but going further, I usually ask participants or uh, everyone in the panel to discuss what comes to your mind when you think about AI in teaching. So I wish I was there. And some people just say efficiency, innovation, creativity. Others quite say that plagiarism, academic dishonesty. So while both of these reactions are valid, and this tension is shaping many conversation around AI in education today. So, if you look at the media discussions about AI in education today, the tone is quite dramatic. Headlines of various news says ChatGPT is the death of education, universities alarmed by AI, students cheating with AI. These headlines show fear surrounding AI, but they also reflect a deeper issue of education system were designed for the world without intelligent writing tools. So now, as teachers, we are rethinking about assessments, classroom tasks, and learning designs. So if you look at Japan Times news on AI, so it is said that AI services are growing in popularity among young learners, and even the middle school students, up to 80 to 85% are using AI to write their assignments or taking help for some sort of learning. So interestingly, often students often have a different perspective, and as a major stakeholder for our teaching profession, students sees AIs are like using for writing assessment, translation helpers, or brainstorming tools. In surveys and classroom discussions, students often say AI helped them to start writing when they feel stuck. So rather than blaming AI completely, many research suggests that we should teach students how to use AI efficiently and responsibly. So if you look at this data, it says that students tend to cheat when the deadlines are too near or just the pressure of getting good grades. So I don't think so we should blame students too much, but relying on AI, and then as a teacher, we should be able to explain it more clearly to them how to use it efficiently. Looking at uh, students' perspective on faculty using AI. As you can see here, the orange part, 14 and 29%, so that's quite positive. Whereas almost the similar 16 and 23% of the people, of the students feel that AI is uh, not should not be used by teachers. So overall, we see like a 50-50%. So as a faculty, I think it's our job to introduce AI in a way where students enjoy it and like it, and rather than just relying it for or they know that we are not going to support it and they don't use it. They lie to us. So the way forward, I think, is that we either need to design our task, which is like more AI proof, which means that make it even harder for AI to do the thinking for our students, or integrating AI into lessons so that students engage in higher order or form of thinking. By what do I mean by designing AI task, which is AI proof? So, like required, which requires explanation, justification, or reflection, which is also connected to lived experience. Of course, AI can't replicate personal stories. So, having a classroom discussion on a previous lecture would focus on, okay, what do you do as a part-time job? And then ultimately asking them to write, describe how your part-time job taught you about teamwork, use some examples. The another way is, of course, integrating AI into our lessons. So, using AI tools for thinking differently. The differentiation, AI generates handout at multiple levels. Also, doing examples such as student compared AI generated essay intros, decide which one is stronger, and doing the examples in that way. So the research puzzle I had in my mind when I was preparing this presentation was like, how do we keep mindfulness at the center of AI powered English classroom in Japan? So here by mindfulness, I mean that it is intentional, reflective, culturally aware thinking. So critical thinking, intercultural awareness, and thoughtful creativity as the main part of this. So it refers to all of these. Um, Coming to theoretical framework. So there are three major frameworks that shape how AI can work in a multicultural context, particularly to Japan as well. So focusing on multicultural pedagogy, AI literacy frameworks, and also using English as a global language. So together these frameworks support to promote like thinking, intercultural awareness, and digital fluency. Multicultural pedagogy suggests that students learn more effectively when lessons are connected to cultural experience and other identities. So, in English education, this means moving beyond something American or British context. Instead of that, we introduce global perspective. So, in my classes, we discuss social issues discussion, peer teaching modules, and examples from India Japan cultural exchanges. Since my major was India Japan relations. So it is our job to actually make curriculum that includes global narratives. We also have to promote intercultural communication, empathy, global citizenship, and also encourage students to critically examine social issues. Coming to AI illiteracy, students need to learn to use AI to ask questions to it, to use it in a way in which they can evaluate AI output. So focus on ethical use of AI, so, reducing cognitive load, differentiating instruction, supporting multilingual and mixed level learners. Teachers must do tasks requiring higher order thinking, not outsourcing it to AI. So, overall, the key takeaway here is that students can critique strong versus weak AI generated samples, AI generated levels reading for mixed proficiency students, and also identify AI bias and topic related to cultural identity. So AI in this context is to support, not as a replacement for learning. Talking about the third framework as English as a global language. Today, most English communication happens between non-native speakers. So English should be seen as belonging not only to the native speakers. So in our classes, we focus on our own cultural identities. AI can also provide examples of English usage for different countries, helping students to see themselves as a legitimate user. So this is what we do at our classrooms. Coming to research, we of course see two different school of thoughts that there are authors who support AI, and there are like people who say that AI is not good for teaching our students. So the positive school of thought would say that AI enhances personalization, instant feedback, and it helps lower proficiency students to engage more confidently. It is a new digital pedagogical skill. Whereas another school of thought talks about that AI is unintentionally promoting passive learning, it has ethical concern, it has lack of structured training. So the key point here is that AI is strongest when we do scaffolding micro skills such as vocabulary, structure, information, but it is very weak in deep reasoning. So, which tools work best and why? Evidence from my classroom trials and student responses says that it reduces cognitive load, it offers a comprehensive input, it differentiates tasks, it provides multimodal learning, and it also supports like multilingual learners. Whereas the challenges is like teacher training gap. We need to create a lot of PDs for teachers, accuracy issues, ethical issues, Wi-Fi dependency, assessment redesign is also, of course, needed. So these are like coming to the tools which I use for my classes. I think some of you must be aware of most of these. So talking about Kahoot, Quizlet is very good for doing vocabulary structures. KimKit is also very good for if you have more time, you can do KimKit. It's like a long game where students can enjoy vocabulary. The below three is Newsella, read words, and news and levels are good for reading exercises. News and levels give news for like three levels. Level one is the easiest one, level two, and then level three. Um, Talking about some other Magic School actually gives a lot of uh, you put in a YouTube link, it gives you the whole assessment. Rewordify help you rewordify according to the level of students. LORG is for listening. Bold voice is something which I use for my Japanese students quite a lot. They lack kind of confidence when they feel that their uh, accent is not good enough. So I try to use this to promote like where do they lack, what type of words they're pronouncing wrongly, and how they can improve. Of course, I wanted to do this in person as well, but recently I got to know about Canva code for me. So what if I tell you that you could learn basics of coding in just 5 minutes, and how would you feel? It would be very interesting to show it in person, but this is also fine. Um, there's Canva has made this Canva code for me. So if you add a prompt here, it gives you some kind of like flashcards and vocabulary thing, which is very good. So I definitely recommend you try using Canva code for me, and it gives you instant results, and it's pretty good for coding. So in the end, I want to finish my presentation by saying that relying too much on AI might turn your lesson into a flop show at the moment. Wi-Fi decides to take the nap, so always have a backup plan. I always keep a backup plan. And also, I would want to know if there are any AI tools that you consider particularly useful. Thank you so much for listening to me.